Hey, everybody, welcome to Cruise Chat Live. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. As always, my lovely wife is sitting right off camera. And for about the next hour or so, we're going to be talking all things cruising, cruise related, cruise news, cruise ship, and doing our very best to answer your question. So first off, let me invite you to subscribe, share, like, do all those wonderful things that all these social channels like you to do. And we invite you, if we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out. Where'sWalterTravel.com. And if you go to the website, you're going to see we have about six group cruises booking right now. So if you want to come join us or our good friends Tony and Jenny B over at Lido, Loca, go to our website and check out the group travel page. And we got a whole bunch of people already over here on YouTube. My goodness, I got Sue, CJ, Eric, John, Joe, Kurt, Becky, Rick is here. Benny is here. Thank you. Oh, and Jen and Bill's fan is here. And Cindy and a whole bunch of you are already here over on TikTok. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Kurt, you survived the storm. Thank goodness. It was, Kurt, I know you're up near the Florida-Georgia line there. You got some intense storms up there. I'm really glad you're safe. Thank you for checking in. Love it. Peggy. Oh, thank you, Peggy. Peggy, thank you for the birthday wishes. Peggy, I think you're still on the ship, aren't you? You're on the Disney Fantasy. Oh, my goodness. Hi, everybody. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, it is my birthday today. Another trip around the sun. So, yeah, I am now, I'm of an age. Let's put it that way. I am of an age. Good to see everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is a beautiful Sunday. Rebecca has demanded that today is a day off for me. So after this, she's going to check some emails, going to answer some emails, and then we're going to spend the rest of the day relaxing. Hopefully, we're going to catch up with our dear friend Stephanie a little later on today. We shall see. So hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? So some interesting news this morning, by the way. That I was just looking at. I was like, man, what is going on in the world of cruising? Because I've been so busy, haven't even looked. But what is he? Is he a senator?
Senator.
He's a senator. So a senator from Alaska is proposing that, if anything happens between the U.S. and Canada, or maybe there's some fallout from the trade wars, he wants to relax that rule that ships from the lower 48 have to go to Canada on a cruise. He wants them to be able to do a round trip Alaska without having to go to Canada. So that'll be very, very interesting. Of course, we have a whole bunch of cruises that start or end in Vancouver, so those won't be affected. But that'll be very interesting to see if he actually gets that to go. Now there have been some cases
during
where was it during the pandemic?
Right after cruising reopened and Canada wasn't accepting cruise ships yet, then they did relax the rule.
So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do something in that case. So, hey, Sue and Phil, how are you? Hi, Betty. Yeah, it is breezy. So apparently it was 70 degrees last night. It's going to be 49 tonight. I guess we've got a major front coming in. Tonight. So it's going to be rather cold here. But the downside of that is that there are some beautiful places to see in Canada. However, the plus side is there are cruise ships from Seattle. That just go to Victoria for like 3 hours. So it's kind of a wasted stop.
Yeah, and they go when nothing but restaurants and bars are still open.
Okay. Why is the closed loop cruise even a rule? It stems from, the 1800s or something like that. It has to do with the fact where the ships are flagged, where the ships are registered. So if the ships are not registered in the United States, then and they do a closed loop cruise that starts and ends in the same port in the United States, then they must visit a foreign port at some point during the cruise. That is a law that's been around since the 1800s, early 1900s, something like that.
I think 1800s.
A Jones Passage Act.
Well, it's a Passenger Services Vessel Act, I think.
Yeah, it I can't remember which law it is, but it's been around for a very long time, and that's the reason. Because if you notice, all of the cruise ships, except for the Pride of America and the American Cruise Line, they are all registered in other countries, such as Nassau, Bahamas, Valletta, Malta, other countries, Bermuda, even England. So if the ship is registered in another country and it's a closed loop cruise, they must visit another country during, like for our Hawaii cruise, we're gonna leave LA, we're gonna go all the way out to Hawaii, but then we got to go to Ensenada on the way back. So that law has been around for a very long time. So and that's just the way it's been. And basically, I think the original intent was to try to get more ships to register in the U.S. I think that was the original intent. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it was something to do with they didn't want non-U.S. flag ships transporting you from one U.S. port to
Well, no, because you can go from one U.S. port to another. If you start and end in two different ports, then you're okay. And you need a passport.
You're still stopping in a foreign country. You cannot, if you go from, say,
that's true. You still got to stop in another port.
You still have to stop in
somewhere. Yeah. So, Jen saying you went on one of those U.S. only Alaska cruises. It'll be interesting if that's the new way of business. I don't know what's going to happen there, but you do make a good point. You previously arrived in Vancouver and you wish you spent more time there. If you're going on a cruise that starts or ends in Vancouver, you really must spend a couple of days in Vancouver. It is a beautiful city. I mean, an absolutely stonking beautiful city over there. So, if you're doing one of those, and honestly, that's our preferred cruise, especially if you're only doing 7 days. We prefer to send you on what's called an open jaw cruise, which is either starting in Vancouver, ending in Alaska, or starting in Alaska, ending in Vancouver. That's our preferred way to send you if you've only got 7 days. If you've got longer, like we do, we're doing a 12-night cruise. It's going to be round trip Seattle, but it's 12 nights. So we're going to get to hit all of the ports that we want to hit. And when we do go to Canada, like Victoria, we're going to spend 12 hours there. Or 14 hours there or something like that. I don't know. We're going to spend a very long time there. So.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the cruise ships from Seattle, it's quite common for them to do, say, 8 to 11.
Yeah, in the evening, like 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and then they're gone. And that's kind of a useless stop.
Yeah.
And I don't like those. I really don't like this. Like if you're going to go to Victoria, go to Victoria. Let people have 8 hours.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So that's why I really don't like those cruises. I mean, we do book clients on them because that's the time they have, or they just want to go ahead and do round trip Seattle. If you do round trip Vancouver, Canada is at the beginning and the end, and you don't have to worry about it. And you do actually get an extra port stop out of that, which is really, really nice. Or you get an extra glacier. So I'm looking forward. We got June. I don't know how much time we've got. We're May.
It's 102 days until
3 months. We're going to Alaska.
The Alaska cruise.
By the way, there's still time to join. There's actually still time to join. I mean,
there are categories that are sold out now.
There are categories that are sold out, but there are still cabins available on that cruise. And I think for another couple of weeks, they're still running a couple of really good specials on that particular cruise. So, if you want to come join us in Alaska, you could certainly come join us in Alaska on we're going to be on the Oceania Riviera from June 26th through July 8th. So we'll be spending the 4th of July in Alaska, which that'll be different. Never done that before. That'll be kind of cool. So so if you want to come join us on that should be a heck of a lot of fun. Yeah. And Rick is excited. Rick just booked you just booked the Philadelphia cruise, right? What was that?
I don't know.
I have no idea. So anyway, it was probably a trailer going over the bumps over there. Rick is talking about the Philadelphia cruise too. So we got the Philadelphia cruise leaving April 16th through the 23rd. We've got Tony and Jenny B. There are around 250 people, 270 people on that particular cruise. So if you want to come with a nice big crowd, Lido Loca, and spend some time on the Lido with Tony and Jenny B, that's going to be an awesome cruise. We're going to be on the Norwegian Jewel. We've never been on a ship that small from Norwegian, so that's going to be kind of cool. I can't wait to see that, and I can't wait to see what it's all about. Because we've not been on the small one yet. We've got one of our favorite locations, which is a balcony in the very, very back of the ship, not aft facing, but in the very back of the ship, looking out. That's one of our favorite places to be. I just love being able to look out. You just look right down the whole length of the ship. It's kind of cool, especially when the ship is turning one way or the other. I don't know. I just really like it. I really like it. So it's super cool. So let me get this back up. By the way, who's sailing today? I want to know who's sailing. Who's going out on a cruise today or this coming week or soon? What's your next cruise? That's the question so far. What is your next cruise? So just returned to your home an hour ago in Orlando. Just spent a week on the Venezia.
That's on our list.
I know, and it's like it's right there. Like we're here in Orlando too.
Yeah,
it's like
I think we're booked up
there.
as far as cruises go.
We
right
are.
now.
We have 9 on the books. It's insane. I know.
Technically 10 if you count the back-to-back.
Oh my God, we got 10. We got 10.
If you count that as 2 instead of 1.
Yeah, well, it is 2. It is technically 2 cruises. So we've got 10 on the books. Oh my God, what did we do?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like we're travel agents or something. Barbara's next is Oceana in June. Gee, I wonder what cruise that is, Barbara. I can't wait. Can't wait to see you guys. Oh, look at that. So we got Not Why just got off the Venezia, and CJ just got off the Firenze, which is a sister ship. You know, those are very interesting ships. I don't know how many people realize they're like brand spanking new ships. They were just built for the Asian market when everything shut down. I don't even know if either one of them even got to like do any of the Asian routes before it all shut down. So those are like 2 brand spanking new ships that were built for the Asian market. And Carnival decided to bring them over. They look absolutely gorgeous. I do want to run down. I just want to run down and see the Venezia because it's here. And I'm just like, we just got to go sneak away on it. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got a bunch of answers going on in here. Alaska in 48 days for Becky. Love it. Hey, Tammy, how are you? John, it's under 600 days till the Med cruise. Yeah, John is going to be on our Celebrity Constellation cruise.
586.
586?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got 600.
He said under 600.
Oh, under 600. Okay.
Which is true.
Sue and Phil are going on the Sky Princess in Norway. I think it's the Sky Princess in Norway in 41 days. Aaron has a Discovery Princess on April 26th. What do we got? We got Terry is doing the Norwegian Joy to the Panama Canal. Ooh, that's going to be a good one. Did I miss anybody here? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Rick's going to be on the Aqua in May 31st. We're taking a small group with us on there. And then Eric, your next cruise is in 76 days on the Aqua with us. I'm telling you, I can't wait to do that one. I'm getting really excited. The Aqua just got handed over to Norwegian, so now it is officially in the fleet. For those of you who don't know, when a ship is being built, the shipyard actually still technically owns it. So until that day that they actually hand it over and everybody signs the paperwork, the shipyard owns it. And that's how Disney ended up getting, the Disney Adventure, because the shipyard was stuck with that ship when Genting went under. So they were stuck with that ship for a while, and that's why they were able to sell it to Disney. So it was actually really cool. I would love to go to Singapore one day and go see that ship. It looks spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Mimi's going on Virgin Voyages in late April. Yay. Oh, what a pleasant experience booking with it. Oh, we got to put that on the screen. Yay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the kind words. We've gotten so many. We've got a whole bunch of reviews over on Travel Leaders Network, and y'all are just like giving us 5, 5, 5. So you're just amazing. So thank you. Everybody who's taken the time to put a review over there for us. We really appreciate it. Stu and Phil want to know, have I seen how fast the cabins are booked for Japan 27 on Holland America and Azamara? I'm telling you, cruising is still white hot. And if you want to cruise in 26 or 27, you better be booking now. I know, I just said 27. Yes, 2027.
Which is just starting to come out.
And I mean, especially when you're talking Azamara and even Holland America, those are going to be smaller ships.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of room. And especially in the case of Azamara, they tend to just do a one-off itinerary. They might do similar, but the itineraries are pretty much one-off. So yeah, if you're looking at 26 and 2027, we need to be talking now to go ahead and get your book. Nene wants to know, oh wait, somebody asked, there it is, Bradley, do people really get motion sick that much? It depends on how sensitive you are, number one, to the motion. Number two, obviously it depends on what the oceans are doing that day. And then it also depends on the size of the ship and how high you are. So for example, some of the worst motion, I think, in recent memory that I can think of, with the very first cruise after the pandemic, we went on the Escape. Mm-hmm. And for the first 3 days, they had the bark bags out in the hallways and it wasn't rough weather or anything. They were just these big swells, and they were coming parallel to us. So the ship was rocking left to right. And when you got up on the upper deck, I mean, you couldn't walk straight if you wanted to. It was just like walk there, walk there, walk there. You just couldn't do it. So, you know, if you're sensitive to the motion, but that's why you'll notice that all the restaurants, or most of the restaurants, all of the entertainment and everything, is always on the lower decks, like, you know, decks like 5, 6, 7. Usually somewhere 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there is usually where all of the action is, if you will. Those are the lower decks. There's less motion down there. So depending on how sensitive you are, yeah, people do. What we see the most is that there's this little patch you can put behind the ear. Now, if you're thinking about that, you really need to talk to your doctor, because there can be side effects from it. So don't just buy them and put them behind your ear.
Particularly if you are on other medication, you need to make sure there's no interactions that will harm you.
So always do that.
Yeah.
Ginger ale, ginger candy, those are a big help. The C bands that have a pressure point down here. In fact, there's a brand actually called C-Band that our friend Stephanie. Now, Stephanie's been on like almost 100 cruises now. She wears them all the time.
In fact, she wears them on roller coasters.
Yeah, she wears them on roller coasters now too. So there's that. And then the crew swears by green apples. So these ships are massive. They're huge. Even the small ships are huge. And you will feel the motion of the ocean. I mean, you're out in the ocean. You're going to feel the motion of the ocean. But it's not like if you've ever been on a ferry or you've been on somebody's power boat. It's not like that.
Boat.
Yeah, fishing boat or something like that, because they really rock in the water. The big ship don't just rock in the water unless they get hit with a rogue wave. So, yeah, it's how sensitive you are. So when we know that people might be motion sick, we will book them as close to the middle of the ship. Well, we'll book them from the middle of the ship to the back. That's what I'll do. Because everybody's like, oh, you got to be in the middle of the ship. For me, it's the middle of the ship to the back.
Although if you are ultra sensitive, even the back can be.
Yeah, even the back can be. But that's kind of where I go, because the propellers are pulling the ship down. So I tend to feel a lot less motion on the back half of the ship than in the front, where the bow is going to come up and down if the waves are coming in just right. And then we're gonna put you low. Like if, you know, the first set, and also if you're motion sick, you probably want a balcony so you can get some fresh air. You can stand outside, you can get some fresh air at any time. And I'm going to put you on whatever that first deck is that has the balconies. That's where I'm going to put you. So yeah, that's what I'd be doing. Great question though. Great question. Nene says your next cruise is the BB cruise we booked for you next April on the Brilliant Lady. We're going to be on her twice this year. September 10th, we're going out of New York City, which I'm so excited. I've never sailed out of New York. I'm so excited about that. Statue of Liberty, all that good stuff. I can't wait to see it. And then in October, we're actually flying up to Montreal. And then we're going to go to Quebec, where we will meet up with the Brilliant Lady to come all the way down to Miami for 13 days. That's going to be spectacular. And Brilliant Lady has announced all new entertainment. Phenomenal. So excited.
Still waiting for the restaurant announcement.
I know. We haven't heard about the restaurant. Jack is going on the Disney Fantasy in March, the Regal Princess in October, and then the Diamond Princess in November. Very busy year. That's a nice lineup of ships right there. Who just went in the dry dock? Somebody just went in the dry dock. The Majestic Princess just went in the dry dock. Oh, and by the way, anybody who's getting ready to go out on the Allure of the Seas, she's in for 42 days, 42-day dry dock. That's a long time. Of course, she's way overdue. She was supposed to go in right around 2020, but of course, we all know what happened there. But they're over $100 million. And apparently, because it's taken so long, they're actually able to draw inspiration from Icon and Utopia. Now, we don't really know what's going in other than the dry slide. We know they're going to finally add the Ultimate Abyss. But this gives them an opportunity to pull some ideas from Icon and Utopia, since it has taken so long to get to the dry dock. So for those of you going out on the Allure of the Seas, anytime from here forward, you're getting a brand spanking new ship. So Tammy is hoping that the Brilliant Lady has a couple of new restaurants. Well, we're all waiting to see what Razzle Dazzle is going to be, because it looks like that is now going to be the restaurant that they're going to be changing up. Will they put in another different restaurant? Who knows? I mean, I think they have finally realized that having 4 identical ships was not the way to go.
Well, 4 entirely identical.
Yeah, 4 entirely identical ships was not the way to go.
It's okay to have similar.
Yes.
Yeah, but Yeah.
Celeste, good morning. Any suggestions about, any suggestions about stay and park free in Port Canaveral before your Aqua Group cruise? You'll probably drive. You love the Venezia. Honestly, in Port Canaveral, we park at the pier. We park right there at the terminal. And we haven't had any problems with it yet. Our strategy of late, I don't know if we'll do this with the Aqua. We might. But like we were on a couple of MSC cruises, we actually showed up about 1 o'clock. 1:30, and we literally drove right up to the parking garage, walked right onto the ship. So we may do, because I think it's the same pier. It's the same pier as MSC that Norwegian shares. So
yeah. I mean, there are several park and ride lots.
There are.
We've done that once and did not have a particularly.
Yeah,
I can't
but we did that
remember
with
which
the
one.
hotel. No, we did it with the hotel.
Yeah, but it was still an off-site parking place.
Right.
It doesn't matter that it was through the hotel. It was still a place.
We didn't have a good experience.
Yeah, I mean, getting to the ship was fine. It was getting back to the car at the end of the cruise that was the issue. Now, that was a very long time ago, so maybe look at TripAdvisor or Yelp and see if you can find some lot with a good review. But otherwise, parking at the pier is nice because if you're getting off the ship, self-disembarking, you can just walk right there, get on, go home. No shuttle to get to the parking lot.
Somebody is saying they use GoPort from transportation, airport to the port. Now, if you're flying in and you're going to use a shuttle, the one that I recommend to everybody is Cocoa Beach Shuttle. They have been phenomenal. I've recommended them to so many people. They're a family-run business out of Cocoa Beach. What I love about them is that if you fly in and you want to just go stay at a Cocoa Beach hotel for the night, they pick you up from the airport. They'll take you to the hotel, and then it's like $7 per person to get from the hotel over to the ship. So if you're flying into Port Canaveral, or you're flying into Orlando, obviously to get to Port Canaveral, I actually recommend Cocoa Beach Shuttle. They're just great people and reasonably priced. But GoPort, a lot of people do use GoPort as well. So, okay. Thank you, Phil. John needs to move to Florida so you can cruise more. I mean, it does make it a lot easier. It definitely does. When we can just simply drive over, to just about, we're 1 hour to Port Canaveral. We're an hour and a half or so to Tampa. And then of course we're a 3 to 3.5 hour train ride down to South Florida. I don't drive anymore if I don't have to. Love the Brightline train. I mean, I love the Brightline train. Of course, I did that video just recently on the traffic in Miami. If you're going down to Miami, man, you got to allow a lot of time. Somebody just responded to their TikTok saying they're going in on a day where they see 12 ships on the schedule. And that's because MSC can put 3 ships at their terminal. There's 3 more ships at their terminal. And, they just set a record with 10 ships. So if there's going to be 12 ships in there, I mean, I just really don't know how they're going to do it. The infrastructure is just going to completely break down over there.
Although there was a Royal Caribbean on select sailings, not every sailing, on select sailings, they are offering a free shuttle from the airport to the port.
Which is for people flying in that day.
Yeah, but
I guess you can go over there,
yes, you could just it'd be easier to get an Uber or Lyft over from your hotel to the airport and then just catch that shuttle.
Yeah. Which I don't know how that really helps because the shuttle's still going to be caught up in all that traffic.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know how many people the shuttle holds, but
yeah,
it's a large amount of people in just one vehicle.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, how are you? Good to see you. Lido Life. I have no idea how many gala nights there will be. You should be able to see that on your schedule. He's asking how many gala nights will be on a transatlantic with MSC. It should be in your schedule somewhere, or you should just be able to.
Usually isn't.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
And you probably need to go to Cruise Critic and ask on there, or just search on cruisecritic.com. Gala nights and how many gala nights are there going to be. I really don't know. I don't know offhand. We don't do gala night. We really don't. We're just there to relax and have a good time. But I do love it when I see people all dressed up. They look so lovely. Where I see it the most, honestly, where I see the most people dressed up is actually on Virgin Voyages, man. Scarlet Night, they go all out. And it's not even a formal night. That's a party night. But man, these people are dressed to the nines. I think that's like the nicest, like the most people that I see dressed up, and some of the most amazing clothing that I see dressed up is on Scarlet Night, man, on Virgin
and
Voyages.
I will be the one not in red.
Yeah, right. I
don't look good in red, so.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, wear it just because.
Mimi, going on the Brilliant Lady cruise starting in Quebec City, do you have a recommendation for airport shuttles to the hotel in Quebec City? Not off the top of my head. I can look them up, or I can get them for you, but I don't have them off the top of my head. So if you reach out, just ping me with an email. We can do a little research for you. Probably get back to you tomorrow on that, because today is a day that I have been commanded not to work because it's my birthday. So we're taking.
You got to do some work in the morning.
I did do some work in the morning, and I'll answer a few emails when we're done, but that's it. But yeah, just reach out. We'll do a little research for you. John said you checked the Miami port for your World America cruise. Luckily, only 5 ship, but it will be next to Icon on Saturday. So that means between the Icon and World America, you're going to have about 26,000 people coming and going. So there's like up to 7 on the Icon and like close to 6 on World, something like that, like 13,000. So you could have up to 26,000 people right there. Those 2 ships, everybody trying to get right there. So yeah, and that is a choke
I think
point.
Your math is a little off.
13,000 people.
Yeah, but why are you going to 20 some?
Because people coming off the ship and getting on. 26,000 people.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they had 68,000 people when they did that 10 ship day. So 26,000 people coming and going, and right there, not only coming and going, but right there where that little hairpin turn is, that's like the choke point of the thing. So yeah, go early, man. Even though you only got 5 ships, I would get there early and wait it out at the terminal rather than sit in all that traffic. So our record is 90 minutes from the moment we hit the port, just trying to get over to Terminal B, up and down and up and oh man, it was so ugly. But I mean, hopefully they're going to do something, because obviously Royal Caribbean is now recognizing that there's an issue. I think Virgin Voyages stopped their shuttle to the Bayside because it's become such an issue.
Done for a long time.
Yeah, because they were having too many problems getting it to and from the Bayside. It just wasn't working. So hopefully they're going to do something. And Port Canaveral is going to be next, because Port Canaveral has one road in basically, and we're getting a lot of ships up here, and we're about to get the Star of the Seas. Mm-hmm. We got the Oasis class. We have the Excel class. We have a world class is coming, right? Yeah, the next world class. Yeah, the next world class from MSC is coming up here. Port Canaveral's next. They need to, at least Port Canaveral, I think, has enough parking garages for the moment, but man, they're going to need more soon. They are going to need more soon. John, is the bridge to the Port Miami better than the tunnel? It just depends on whether the tunnel is closed or not. The tunnel closes a lot due to accidents, because people driving very poorly through that tunnel. It's a total flip.
And however they decide to run the traffic through the port that day, because sometimes they'll block ways off that if you could go there, you'd be right at the terminal.
There, when you first come in, when you come up over the causeway, when Virgin Voyages is in, the ship is literally right there. And so as you come down the other side of the causeway, there is a left turn that if they allowed you to take it, you could literally just peel off left and be right at Terminal B. But they always have cones there to block you off from going that way. And it frustrates the ever-living crap out of me, because I'm like, I just need to get there. I don't need to go up and down 3 times and then go all the way through all the terminals to get to Terminal B. It's like they could cut off some of that traffic for people who are trying to get to, I think it's like G, H, and then B. Mm-hmm. So it would just make it a lot easier if they just let us peel left and do that. So, hey, Lido, Loca, my friend. Hey, Tony and Jenny, how you doing? I don't know. You gave me a lesson on the ship, and I still can't do it right.
I'm waiting until you start juggling.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm never going to be juggling. I'm never going to be juggling. And Tony, don't think I didn't notice that you had the pins on your sofa that one
But
day.
you've got good hand-eye coordination.
I have good hand-eye coordination, but not nearly as good as Tony. Tony can just do that.
Maybe he can
just starts
teach you.
going. Like you saw him on the ship. He didn't even think about it. He just got there and just started doing it.
Maybe he can teach you.
He's amazing. Yeah. Well, Tony, yeah, we are going to be together for 7 days, on that thing. And if we can convince you to come to the Mediterranean, dude, you can do the whole thing with us. We'd have 25 days. You can show me how to do it. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate you tuning in and saying hello. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so thankful for our partnership with Lido, Loca, with Tony and Jenny. I'm even more thankful for the friendship with them. They've been amazing friends. Tony has been a great sounding board for me. Jenny has been a great sounding board for me when I need advice or I just need somebody to talk to. They've been incredibly gracious with their time. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for believing in us too. Really, really appreciate that. We can't do this without any of you guys. And what I think I'm most proud of with all of our partnerships is that we really didn't really approach the other side. The partners actually came to us because they liked what we were doing. And that just makes me so incredibly proud. So incredibly proud of that and of what Rebecca and I are building. And our biggest problem right now is that we need to bring in somebody. And we thought we were going to do it sooner than later, but we're going to have to delay it by a little bit. But that's a good problem to have. So, yeah. So thank you. Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Doc DJ. Oh, that's I'm blanking on your name. Hi. How are you? If the Uber misses the turn to Virgin Voyages pickup, they have to go all the way around the terminal. I know. And again, when you come over that causeway, there is literally a left turn that you can make and go right to Terminal V, but they closed it. They put these stupid cones there. I swear, I have a Subaru. I'm like, I'm just going to drive over to dang cones again. I'm going to be like the dude in Wedding Singer, it was just cones. I'm just going to drive over to dang cones next time with my Subaru and just drag them all the way to Virgin's Terminal. Hi, Minnesota Love. How are you? Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Aaron says next cruise together with Tony and Walter need to do a live stream with several dance breaks. I'm down for that. I am totally down for that. I don't know. Tony's got some practice on me right now, so I have to warm up a little bit and do that. But
stretch.
I mean, who's enjoying the dance breaks on all of his videos lately? I mean, they are just so much fun. Dance break for no particular reason. We got to do a dance break. We got to get up off the sofa and just move around. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I love it. You got to keep doing what you're doing, Tony. And by the way, if you haven't seen the video yet, when Tony was in Miami, that is one of the funniest videos I have ever seen because Tony was driving around Miami doing things and he had some friends leaving on a ship. Right at the same time, Tony was driving by the ship and he's waving out the car and they actually got him on video. That's like one
out of the sunroof.
Yeah, he's waving out of the sunroof. It was hilarious. I love that, Tony. I absolutely love that you were actually able to time it just perfectly with the ship so you could wave. I love that so much. So funny. So, hey, Donna, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Barbara's a Subaru owner too. I'm telling you, my Subaru Outback, that is hands down my favorite car ever. I love driving that car so much fun. So but yeah, it's just so awesome. By the way, since Tony's here, we should mention his 2 group cruises real quick. So if you want to cruise with Tony and Jenny B, we're booking 2 cruises right now with Tony and Jenny B. They are going to be on the very first cruise. So Philadelphia used to be a cruise port, and I actually keep forgetting to look up when was the last time a ship went out of there, but it's been a while, a couple of decades at least.
Cruise ship anyway.
Yeah. So Norwegian is bringing cruising back to Philadelphia, and Tony was like, we got to be on the first sailing. So we are on the very first sailing. April 16th through the 23rd, 2026, the Norwegian Jewel. The Jewel. Nice small ship, got to be small because we got to get under the bridge. I think we're going under 2 bridges on the way out. I looked it up. It looks almost like coming out of New Orleans. It's a nice long ride down the river before we actually get out. Should be absolutely beautiful, probably in both directions. And then we're going to go down to Bermuda, going to spend a couple of days in Bermuda, and then we're going to come over to Charleston, and then we go back up to Philadelphia. And if you look at it, it's a triangle. It's the Lido Loca triangle. So approximately 250 people are booked on the ship. We know 250 will leave. We're not sure how many will make it back from a triangle. So it's a mystery. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But if you want to join us April 16th through the 23rd, 2026, there's still space available. And people keep saying, well, what are Tony and Jenny B going to do on the ship? We don't know yet. They're still working on it. We've got a year for them to figure it out.
Over a year.
Juggling, I'm betting juggling and dance breaks are going to be involved somehow in the whole thing. So if you want to come join us on that one. And then Tony and Jenny B are also going to Canada and New England from New York City, round trip. They're going to be on the Enchanted Princess. So this is a Royal class ship. This is actually the final Royal class ship. So she's the newest and the final one that was built. The next ship that came out was the Sun Princess with the new Sphere class. So Enchanted Princess, absolutely freaking gorgeous. This is October 11th through the 18th of this year, 2025, sailing round trip out of New York City. We've got New York, Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, Portland, Maine, St. John's, New Brunswick, and then Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tony and Jenny B will be on the ship. People say, well, what are we going to do on that one? There won't be as many group activities on that one because you only have one sea day. This is a very port-heavy, port-intensive cruise. So you're going to be like off and out and about a lot. You're definitely going to see Tony and Jenny B on embarkation day. There's probably going to be an event, let's say, on that last sea day, the one sea day that you have. But the rest of the time, I mean, you guys are going to be busy going around the ports and all that good stuff. We do have a group hotel that we're booking for October 10th. I might have a couple of rooms left, but we got a really good rate, like literally in the Times Square area. An amazing rate right in the Times Square area for this group. So if you want to cruise with Tony and Jenny B, those are the two that are booking right now that you can do. If you missed any of that, or you want to come cruise with us on our group cruises, we're going to be doing Canada and New England too, but it's going to be slightly different. We're going to be on the Brilliant Lady, the brand new Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady, sailing from Quebec all the way down to Miami. So we do Canada, New England, then we go to Charleston, South Carolina, then we come on into Miami, and I'm hoping Miami's going to be a big deal. I hope they don't just sneak the ship in at 5 a.m. I'm hoping we come in at like 7 or 8 a.m, just like the Icon did, wake up the whole neighborhood. Mm-hmm. With any luck, maybe Sir Richard will be on board with us at that point. So that'll be really super cool.
I was thinking about that the other day. We're going to have to book a later train than we might normally, just in case it doesn't come in super, super early.
Right. And by the way, that's one of our strategies for those of you who use the Bright Line train. It's actually one of our strategies is that we'll book a later train than we think we need. And then if we get there early enough and there's seats on an earlier train, we'll just switch to the earlier train.
And if it isn't too much of a price difference.
Sometimes there's no price difference at all. Sometimes there's a price difference. But that's one of my strategies. It's just to I think we've been booking trains at like 10:30 in the morning, knowing that, we can definitely get on the 9:30 train. But we've actually had it where we were off the Virgin Voyages and got our Uber so fast, we were on the 7:45 train back. That was unbelievable that we actually did that. So, but anyway, so that's what all is going on. Yay. All right. Oh man, Tony just got a whole bunch of people going on. Oh, you've never been to any of those ports. Awesome. That is so awesome. I'm excited. Donna says she hears that the water in Bermuda is clearer than Hawaii. Well, we'll find out.
Yes.
We're going to be in Hawaii in February and then Bermuda in April. So we shall find out.
Actually, we're going to be in Bermuda in September.
Oh, that's right. We're going to be in Bermuda in September on the Brilliant Lady. Mm-hmm. That's right. I totally forgot. Chuck, how you doing? Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. But yeah, you're right. We're going to be there. In fact, we've been talking about group cruises. Why don't we just talk about it? So here's the big one. That we're doing. The best of Italy and Croatia. October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026. There's going to be on the Celebrity Constellation. She's like 96,000 gross tons or
90,940.
So 91,000 gross tons. Small ship. So for those of you who have been on a Carnival Spirit class, or maybe you've been on the Margaritaville Islander, The ship is smaller than that. So it's really cool. By the way, I see that some comments were filtered. If you're trying to, on TikTok, if you're trying to ask me a question about Virgin Voyages, you cannot use the word Virgin. That is, TikTok is going to block that comment. So use the letters VV if you want to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, or just use the name of the ship. Sorry about that. Not me. That's TikTok doing that. So the Constellation is a small ship. I like small ships in the Mediterranean. You can get off the ship easier. You can get back on the ship. These ports are not all that big. Plus, sometimes the smaller ships can get into some port that just the bigger ones just can't do. So I like that. So this is just a 91,000 gross ton ship. She's just over 2,000 passengers, not even 2,200 passengers. So we're going to start in Ravenna. Now, Ravenna is the big ship port for Venice. She's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from Venice. So it's not like it's right next to Venice. It's not like Port Canaveral and Orlando. It's just an hour away. It's like it is a good 2.5 to 3 hours away. So that's where we'll start. Then we're going to go to Split, Croatia. We're going to go to Dubrovnik, Croatia, Kotor, Montenegro, Messina, Italy, Salerno, Italy, Portofino, Italy, La Spezia, Italy, and then ending up in Civitavecchia. That is your gateway to Rome. Now, La Spezia is your gateway to Pisa, and I believe Florence.
In Tuscany.
And Tuscany, and I think Salerno is your gateway to the Amalfi Coast down there. I think, or is it Portofino? One of those two is the gateway to the Amalfi Coast. Now, what Rebecca and I are planning on doing, and we haven't quite figured it out yet, but what we're talking about right now is flying into Rome, spend a couple of days in Rome, then take the train up to Venice, spend a couple of days touring Venice, and then get on the ship. And the reason for that is, and some of you could do that, like, if you're just going to do this particular cruise, you could fly into Venice, spend a few days in Venice, and then spend a few days in Rome on the back end of it. We're going to do the Rome and Venice thing in the beginning because the very next sailing is a back-to-back to San Juan. It's going to be a 15-day transatlantic. So Rebecca and I are going to be on the ship for 25 days. We're going to start in Ravenna. We're going to end up all the way in San Juan 25 days later. And, you know, and we get 4 stops in Spain, or we get 3 stops in Spain and 1 in Morocco on the way over. So really, really excited about that. But the actual group cruise is the best of Italy and Croatia. If you want to stay on board with us, that would be phenomenal. It's just a shorter flight home. And it's about the same price, honestly.
If you just want to do the transatlantic.
Yeah, or if you just want to do the transatlantic, you can come with us on the transatlantic. So, John says he's definitely going to join us in Venice and potentially stay in Rome afterward. Yeah, that would be a great idea. We got connected with a brand new tour operator in Italy. Well, he's not brand new. He's new to us. But he's been highly recommended by our KHM colleagues, KHM Travel Group colleague, Rome Private Excursions or something like that, where he'll just put together a tour. And so we just sent him, hey, these are the kind of things we want to do. And he's already put together an itinerary for us. We can do the same thing for you guys, or if you want to join us on any of this stuff, you can join us on some of this stuff. But that's how it works. Hey, Alex, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Mushki, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate it.
And Barbara, yes, Livorno is one of the gateways to Florence, Pisa, but La Spezia is the other. These ports have gotten so busy that they have to kind of.
They got to split them out. Yep. Yeah. So La Spezia is the second one now that you can get to both. So it's interesting how much everything has grown. The one thing I'm waiting for, you know, with the release of the Legend of the Seas now, which is going to be massive in the Mediterranean, it's an interesting strategy. Europeans want to get on these ships too, and they may not necessarily want to fly all the way to Florida to get to it. So it's actually a pretty clever, pretty good strategy move by them. But you know, those really big ships are limited, especially in Europe, where they can go. So I'm waiting for the first cruise line to set up some sort of a private destination in Europe. I got to believe it's coming. I got to believe it's coming at some point where they're going to build a pier so the ship can pull right up. And instead of the whole, Caribbean vibe and all that, it'll be the vibe of whatever, that local area is. I'm waiting for that. I'm really waiting for that, especially now with, Royal Caribbean is building Perfect Day in Mexico. Who's going to build the equivalent of that over there? You know, we have Royal Caribbean actually bought a port. I mean, they bought Costa Maya to create Perfect Day. So it's going to be really interesting to see who does that and how do they do it. I'm sure it'll be a mainland thing. It might be an island, but it'll probably be a mainland thing where they just, set up their resort right there. I think they're going to need it. They've got the Oasis of the Seas, or one of the Oasis class ships goes over there. Now they're going to have an Icon class ship over there. I believe they also have a Quantum class ship over there. And of course, MSC has, World America and all this other stuff.
World Europa.
Oh, World Europa, excuse me. They got World Europa over there. Man, World America is almost here. Mm-hmm. Woo, man, that ship is almost here. I'm excited about it. Rebecca and I are wanting to do the yacht club, and we're probably going to try it out on that ship just because I know John's doing the yacht club on it. So I can't wait to see that. So, hey, by the way, Chuck, if it wasn't so windy, I would make a smoked old fashioned, but the wind's just going to blow it away. I finally tried it. It's awesome. Chuck, who's watching us on the YouTube side, man, he got me a smoker for my drinks. He heard me talking about smoked old fashioned, and he shows up on the Margaritaville Islander with a smoker for me. It's phenomenal. And it's phenomenal, Chuck. I can tell you, it works great. I love it. I absolutely love it. In fact, today's my birthday, so why not? I'll make one. Maybe if Stephanie wants a smoked drink, I'll make her one if she ends up coming over. I hope she comes over. I hope she is so busy. Oh my God, her work is so amazing, people. If you haven't been over to Disney World lately, or you haven't been on a Disney ship lately, oh my God, her work is just so freaking amazing. I'm so proud of her with everything she's doing. I wish she could tell us more about what she's doing, but she can't.
She's sworn to secrecy.
Doggone Disney, that mouse will find her. And he will, man. That mouse, he's everywhere. So
yeah, that is a big time no-no.
And a big time no-no. You do not give that away. So, by the way, the other big cruise that we're doing is Hawaii. If you want to go with us to Hawaii, speaking of Disney, and by the way, let's see. So we're 45 minutes in. So time for me to remind you that we are Walter and Rebecca. We're Where's Walter Travel. We're independent travel agent. We book land, luxury, cruise, and expedition. Yes, we booked land as well. So if you want to go to an all-inclusive resort, you want to do a land tour, we booked some really cool land tours in Italy. We're looking at Scotland. We're looking at some other places as well. I'm sending people to Punta Cana for all-inclusive resorts. So if we can help you in any way with your travels, our services are 100% free to you. Literally, we don't charge you a dime for our services. Just reach out at where'swaltertravel.com. A growing part of our business now is meetings and events. We've got 150 cabins on the Brilliant Lady. We might be chartering an entire ship next year as well. So we did a big meeting on Margaritaville. We had about 55 cabins. So if you've got a group, you've got meetings, you got incentives, you got product launches, the ship charter is going to be a big event. It's going to be a big fan event. We got things you want to do on a ship. I mean, geez, I've got Tony. Tony's got like 250 people on his cruise and on the Norwegian Jewel. So groups have become a big part of our business. So if you're looking at doing a group,
probably about 10% of the ship.
Probably. And I think we've got every solo cabin. Pretty much. We pretty much have every solo cabin. I think
that we've had a few changes, and I think some other people from other places may have canceled. Yeah. So there are a few solo cabins have opened up.
Yeah. So if you got a group family reunion, whatever you got going on, man, that had been a growing part of our business of late. So we can certainly help you out. where'swaltertravel.com. It's a website, and wherever you're watching me, I know there's links in the descriptions and all that good stuff. So just check that out. Okay, back to where I was. Back to your regularly scheduled program. I was talking about Hawaii. We're going to Hawaii on the Emerald Princess. What a lovely ship. We've been on the Crown Princess, which is one of her sisters. Lovely ship. The thing I like about the older Princess ships is you really don't forget that you're on a ship. It's very nautical inside, and of course there's all the Italian stylings of the piazza and all of that. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful ship, and I think it has that aft terrace pool on it too.
I believe so.
Oh, I love that pool. It's one of my favorite pools. Like before the whole infinity pool caught on the aft, this was like the pool. So we're going to Hawaii. We're going to leave LA. We go to Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai, and Ensenada. So it's 10 days at sea. It's 5 days to the islands, 4 days around the islands, 5 days back, a stop in Ensenada, and then back to LA. And this is February 4th through the 20th. So it's going to be our Valentine's cruise next year. We did Valentine's this year on Margaritaville. We're going to do Valentine's next year on Princess. And we have an aft-facing balcony. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. And then it's Disneyland's 70th birthday. I have never been to Disneyland, so we're going to fly in. We haven't quite figured it out yet, but we're going to fly in either 3 or 4 days early, and we're going to spend time in Disneyland before the cruise. I am so flipping excited. In fact, we're going to stay in Disneyland. Yes, it's more expensive to stay there, but it's my first time, so screw it. We're going to stay in Disneyland. So if you want to come with us, February 4th through the 20th, 2026 is the actual cruise, and then you can tack on some time in Disneyland, either before or after the cruise if you want to, or just anywhere. Want to do like one of those wine tours up down the coast? It might be early for that, but if you want to stay in LA or visit up and down the coast, we can arrange that as well. So yeah, certainly reach out. All of the information is on our website under group travel. So definitely. Lido, oh, I got a question over here. Barbara's looking at doing a land tour in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. How long would I suggest? That's a lot of moving around.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a lot of moving around.
And honestly, like I've been working on a land trip for my sister and brother-in-law in just Scotland, and they're probably going to be just 10 to 14 days, just Scotland. Yeah,
I think you really want to narrow down what you want. There are tours that do that. I think the tours that, like I got Trafalgar, I got Colette, I got a few others. I'd say minimum 15 days, if you're going to do all of that. But I mean, we've got, like she said, we've got tours just in Ireland or just Scotland and Ireland for 18 days to do everything. But you can do things in 7 days. You can do things in 9 days. It's what is important to you. Mm-hmm. Like you really got to go down and say, I must see these things. And then once we got that, and then we can start looking at the tours.
We can have another list of, it would be nice if we could.
Exactly. So Barbara, I mean, just reach out, we can go ahead and put that list together. I've got about 10 land partners that I really lean into hard. And then I've got another one that just does all custom. I can just literally give them the list and say, here, put this together. But that's a lot of land to cover, like on a ship, that would be easy, right? You're just on the ship and ship's going to visit everything in like 14 days, which by the way, there are cruises that will do more or less that in Northern Europe. Azamara has them, Princess has them. They have
kind of round trip around the.
Or one way in some cases too. Holland America has them. So there are cruises that might hit part of it. So maybe it's a part of it is a cruise, part of it's a land tour. We've done that. We had a couple that spent, Michael and Nissa spent like 20 days in Europe, and 10 of them were on a ship, 10 of them were on land. So, you can do a combination thereof too, depending on what you want to see and how much time you want to have and everything. Lou Fran says the Margarita Group cruise was fun. I'm glad you had a great time, man. That was a really good cruise. That really was. Joanne, thank goodness for Joanne at Margaritaville. She was the glue that brought that all together. She was amazing. I mean, gosh, we had 160 people on that between myself and Elisa. Elisa was just an amazing partner. I want to do more group cruises with her. So, oh my gosh, just so good. And we definitely got to partner up on some more stuff. So I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you had a good time. Lido Life, if you have an embarkation time at 1:00 at the American Airlines Miami terminal, when should we leave our hotel in the Blue Lagoon area? Have an embarkation time. So AA, that's MSC. Here, if you're going to Miami, it depends on how many ships you've got in port that day. So if you've got 5 ships or fewer, you should be okay. So there's 2 things here. So there's the time to get to the port, and once you're at the port, which is we're just before you go over the causeway. That's what I consider the port. When you hit the causeway as you're going over the bridge, a big Virgin ship is sitting right there. That to me is the port. That's where the port starts. Not when you go over the causeway, but right there, because that's usually where the traffic starts backing up. But from that point, you want to allow. Let's see, if you got 5 ships or less, you want to factor 30 to 45 minutes just getting through the port. If you have 6 ships or more, and especially if you've got 8, 9, 10 ships or more.
And if you've got the bigger ships.
Yeah. Well, just trying to get and Terminal AA is all the way up there. So you are going to need, you're going to want to get there early. You're going to want to get there very
definitely
early.
check either the Port of Miami website itself or Cruise Mapper and see how many other ships are going to be in port and how big are these ships.
Yeah, Cruise Mapper is actually easier to get that info. Now, they're not always 100% accurate, I will say that, but they're going to be close. Even if they're off by a ship or two, they're going to be good. So yeah, that is going to be, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they need a train. They need some sort of a train that maybe runs from the Bayside in. That would be a good spot. You know, if they could run. There is that people mover train that kind of moves around. If there was a way to connect that to go out there, if they could get some sort of a train, like an airport train going, that will be a huge, huge help to all of that. So it would be super expensive. Super expensive. Yeah, no, if you're going to be using that hotel shuttle, I mean, I would want to be at the terminal probably no later. I would want to aim for 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. And if you get right there and you're there, great. But if not, and you're sitting in 90 minutes of traffic, then, you know, you're going to get there like 12:30. So yeah, I would aim to get to Miami as early as possible today. It's just getting so bad over there. It really is getting bad. In fact, you know, when we take the train down, we take the train so that we arrive in Miami at least like an hour, hour and a half before we're supposed to be at the terminal. We would just hang out at the Bright Line train station until it's like, oh yeah, it's like 15 minutes. Let's just go. We're not going to be doing that anymore. We're going to be leaving earlier. So
depending on how the day looks.
Yeah. Depending on how the schedule looks over there. Somebody claimed that it took them 90 minutes when there was 4 ships in port. There must have been construction or an accident at that point.
Yeah.
Because that's unusual. That's unusual. If there's 4 ships in port, you should be able to get right to the ship. So, Alex, the Oceania World Cruise, do I have any more hall pass letters you can give to the board folks? Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like me to write a letter, it's completely useless, but I will gladly send you a letter on letterhead saying Alex has my permission to book and take the Oceania World Cruise. I mean, you can work from the ship. You know, I mean, it's the Vista, right? Yeah, it's the Vista. It's the Oceania Vista, brand spanking new. We saw her. I don't know if you saw her, but when we were on the Resilient Red Hot retreat with Virgin Voyages, she turned around right in front of us. So, Cal, what is the best? What cruise line is best for the British Isles? There is no cruise line that is best for the British Isles. It's what do you want to do? So with the British Isles, you can go round trip from England. You can go round trip from like Amsterdam, Rotterdam. You can go round trip from there. You can go one way. There's even some that include Iceland, right? You kind of go up and around, and then you go over to Iceland, or you start in Iceland, you go around, you end up in England. There's so many ways you can do it. And there's so many different cruise lines. So there is no best. It's which one has the best itinerary for what you're trying to do, and then also meet your budget. Because I mean, you know, we've got your usual suspects, right? We've got Princess, we got Holland America, then we've got Azamara, we got Oceania, we have Explorer coming online up there now, Regent, Viking.
And I would say if you want to do all the way around the British Isles, you're going to need probably 12 to 14 days.
Yeah, if you want to go all the way around. Yeah. And like Azamara, you know, like if you just want to go intensive, I just want to go around the island. Like Azamara, hands down, usually has the best itinerary.
There's actually lots of them that do that, just all around the British Isles.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about all the stops. Like Azamara usually has a few more stops in there. So it depends on what you want to do. I mean, Kel, just reach out, just set up an appointment, and we'll talk. And this is exactly what we do. Kind of like what I was talking about a little earlier with the land tour. What exactly do you want to see? And then we need to make sure that, you know, your times in port are going to be long enough to do what you want to do. And then we'll find the right ship for you. And it might be a round trip. It might be an open jaw one way. I will say that generally when you go one way, you're going to see more because the ship doesn't have to come back. The ship doesn't have to turn all the way around and come back. So it can go farther in the same amount of time. But yeah.
That's really applied to this situation.
I mean, it can. Yeah. So, yeah. So let's see. But yeah, if you want to reach out, definitely just reach out. We'd love to chat with you and help out with that. Where's waltertravel.com, or there's links in the description down there as well. So Yeah, Lido, like, keep in mind that hotel shuttles stop at multiple ports. That's a very good point. So when you're doing a hotel shuttle, they are going to stop at a bunch of ports. It doesn't matter whether you're in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, whatever.
Bunch of ports or
Or
hotels?
a bunch of terminals, excuse me, at a bunch of the terminals.
Yes.
So, yeah, and like you said, like if you were going to Terminal V, it would take forever because that is the very last stop. Now you're going to Terminal AA, so that'll be the very first stop, or at least it should be. They'll drop off there. Basically, the order should be MSC, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, whatever ships are next. It could be Carnival, it could be a mix of other ships. And then there's a Royal Caribbean slot at the end, and then Virgin Voyages way at the very end. And then you also got Terminal J over on the other side, which is where the small ships go. So there you go. So Bill's fan, have we ever been on the Brilliance of the Seas, older ship, but the ports Southern Caribbean are very appealing? Now that's a great point. The thing about the older ships and those smaller ships is they can do itineraries that the big ships just simply cannot, or they don't want to do because not enough people are going to book them. Those ships are around 2,000, 2,100 people, something like that, 2,200 people. So the Brilliance, the Enchantment, the Serenade, I believe, are some of the ships, Grandeur, are some of those small ships. If you are looking for itineraries and you want to stay in the Royal Caribbean product, then yeah, go with those smaller ships. You have to accept when you go on those smaller ships that yes, they are older. They're well maintained by Royal Caribbean, but are you going to find rust on it? Yeah. You're going to find scratches on it? Yeah. You're going to find scuffs? Yeah. I mean, that's just part of being an older ship. Even when the ships are fully refurbished, there's new people coming on every freaking week, right? So those ships take a lot of abuse, but are they lovely ships to cruise? One of the cool things about the smaller ship, that you get to know the crew because you're interacting with the same people all the time versus, so many people. Like you might see your favorite barista once or twice on a big ship because you keep missing their shift. Whereas on the smaller ship, you're probably going to see your favorite barista more often because there's less people working there and things like that. So I think the smaller ships are just phenomenal. Are you going to have less things to do on it? Of course you are, because it doesn't have all the top deck stuff, but you're still going to have that Royal Caribbean entertainment up front. You're still going to have a couple of the venues in the ship. You're certainly not going to have all the venues in the ship, but there's a lot to be said. Now, keep in mind, we're now cruising on 700 passenger ships and loving it. Absolutely loving it. You talk about not much to do. There is not much to do in the evening, right? You go see the show and then, oh my gosh, you've got to hang out with your fellow passengers and talk. What? Yes, that's like the big thing we do in the evening. We actually sit and we talk to each other. What? Yes. So, there's a lot to be said for the smaller ships. I love the smaller ships. So yeah, I would have no problem at all booking you on the Brilliance, the Vision, Grandeur, Rhapsody, and then the next class up, you got the Jewel. In fact, the Rhapsody might be a Jewel class. I can't remember what that next class is, but even that next class up is a lovely small one. So what's the biggest discount we've seen on the alcohol package? I assume you're talking about Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean is, I think, $69 is the lowest I've ever seen it per person.
Lately.
Yeah, and the highest I've seen it is pushing 120 per day per person. It's a dynamic scale. So if you're talking about Royal Caribbean, the thing about it is you can book, you can buy your drink package and then just keep an eye on it. If you see it go down, you can cancel it and rebook it.
Now you will have to, you won't get your money back from the cancellation immediately. That will take a few weeks.
Yeah, it takes a few weeks, but you can cancel it.
Yeah.
And get a refund.
Yeah, there are several cruise lines where you can get, like, say, maybe a 5 or 10% discount if you buy it before you board the ship.
Yeah.
But really, Royal Caribbean's the only one that has such dynamic pricing.
It's crazy.
And the very most important thing to do with anything Royal Caribbean sells that is dynamic pricing is to keep track of the bottom line dollar amount. Do not pay attention to the 50% off. Buy one, get one 70% off. Don't pay any attention to that whatsoever.
Nope.
Just see how much it would cost you in actual dollars.
Yes.
To purchase it. That is the important amount.
It's like, seriously, write it down somewhere, because it's not uncommon for the drink package to go from 50% off to 60% off, but that actual dollar amount went up by a couple of bucks or $5. Because all they do is they just raise the base price. You know, if the base price today is 85, and we're gonna go from 50 to 60% off, well, let's make it $90. So then the price actually bumps up. So it's that bottom line dollar. Royal Caribbean is the king. I mean, they are the absolute king of playing with the numbers. I get clients all the time. Hey, Royal Caribbean just came out with this new offer. It's blah, 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 blah on the rooms. And I go to look at it. It's like, yeah, your cabin is about $300 higher now than it was when you booked it. They just play with these numbers all the time. And it's not just Royal Caribbean. Everybody does it. Everybody does it, but Royal Caribbean really messes around with that drink package a lot.
And most other cruise lines keep their drink package prices fairly consistent, at least for a certain amount of time. It's just sometimes you can get a discount if you buy it prior to boarding.
Absolutely.
Versus when you get on the
Absolutely.
ship.
Like MSC is pretty much a flat price. Carnival is pretty much a flat price. But Royal Caribbean is like, well, I haven't even paid attention to Celebrity because I never look at that one. I don't know if they do the dynamic.
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, they do have some discounts, but usually it's just a smaller discount if you buy. Now, shore excursions may be different. If they have one that's not selling really well, they will discount that.
Yes. Now, the danger of the shore excursion, since you brought that up, like if you book a shore, keep in mind, shore excursions have a finite capacity. Mm-hmm. And when they sell out, they sell out. So if you paid $100 for a shore excursion and then you see it on sale for $85, be very careful because, again, you have to cancel and you have to rebook. So in that time it takes you to cancel and rebook, which might only be 10 seconds, somebody else might be sitting on that purchase and they buy it and now you can't get it. And guess what? There's no more slots. Yeah. So you really want to be careful when you're trying to rebook a shore excursion that you may lose it.
Or capacity controlled things like the
dining
key package.
Yeah.
Or the dining. They only sell so many dining packages.
Yeah, so the dining packages are limited, and the key, K-E-Y, the key, those are limited capacity. So again, you can cancel and rebook, but if you do, you're running a risk that you just might lose it.
Drink package will sell all day long.
Yeah, they'll sell as many of those as they can.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Royal Caribbean drink package works on CocoCay. And it will, I assume it's going to work on Perfect Day Mexico as well, whereas on Carnival, it does not. I think Holland America, the same thing. It does not when you're on their islands and you're in the private resorts.
Last time we were on Princess Key, it didn't. Their package, I'm not sure if it worked on their island or not.
Can't remember. We didn't go to the
ages.
island.
Last time.
Yeah, we didn't go on the island last
Princess,
time.
We didn't get off the ship.
Nope, we stayed on. Which, by the way, Princess Keys is right next to Lookout Key from Disney. If you didn't know that, you actually go right by the dock. Like the ship is really slowing down, and you're like, "Oh, look, there's a dock." And you're like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's Lookout Key." And when the ship actually anchors, and then you look to the back, you can still see the Lookout Key dock. It would be kind of neat to be there sometime when a Disney ship is there, so you can actually see it. Now, Barbara brings up a great point there. Barbara is reminding everybody that if you're going to get a drink package, do the math. Mm-hmm. Make sure the drink package is actually going to work. She said they were on the Islander for 6 nights with us. They only paid about $200 total for liquor for the drinks. And if they'd have done a drink package, it would have been $940. So they would have just, there are so many people that are just handing money to the cruise lines. Here you go. Here's my money because I don't want to think about it. You know, not thinking about it is cruise money. It could be money for more cruises. So think about it. My guess would be that at least 50% of the people who get the drink package didn't need it. They just did it anyway because it's easier. Because I don't want to think about it. Guess what? You don't have to think about it because the cruise line's just going to run the tab anyway. They're just going to charge you. So there's no thinking involved. And you can kind of do the math of how many drinks am I drinking every day. So, hey, Kathy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hope you guys can come join us in Philadelphia. So, but yeah, so do the math. If you're gonna do a drinks package, do the math. It's very easy to Google cruise ship name, bar menu, cruise ship name, coffee menu.
And when you do that, make sure you do it for this year or within the last 6 months because they have been known to adjust pricing.
Correct. Kimberly wants to know what Royal Caribbean island is next to Great Stirrup Key. That would be CocoCay. Perfect Day at CocoCay. And here's the funny thing. So we've been to Great Stirrup Key twice. Both times it was called off because the waves were too rough. And both times we watched a Royal Caribbean ship pull right up to the dock at Ocean Key. And we were like, let's go to Ocean Cay. Let's just go over there. What are they going to do? Stop us?
Yes,
they would have. But the good news is Great Stirrup Key is getting a dock.
And I think that's the end of this year, I think.
I don't know.
I know construction has already started.
Oh, cool. So we'll see it in May.
It will not be done for our cruise in May, but
cool.
I have heard rumors that it might be the end of this year.
Oh, that'll be that. Wow, that's quick. That's really quick. So I guess maybe they don't need to make it all that long. So.
Well,
and I wonder which side of the island is going to be on.
Are not necessarily correct.
Yeah, because what's the name of Holland's Island?
Half Moon Key.
Half Moon Key. They're actually going to put the dock on the back side, so they could still have a ship that's tendering on one side and docked on the other side. That's interesting. Very interesting. So I wonder if they're doing the same thing at Great Stirrup Key.
I don't know.
Aaron wants to know, so does that mean Carnival's drink package will not carry over to Celebration Key? That is correct. It will not carry over to Celebration Key. In fact, Bentley confirmed that during our live show a couple weeks ago. Carnival does not carry over the drink package. And I believe Holland America does not either because they're a Carnival company. And we think Princess, we can't remember if Princess does or not. So MSC, though Kel's saying MSC's Ocean Key is very nice. It is my favorite private island out there. And the reason why I like it so much because it's so natural. It's just, it is a Bahama paradise when you go there. It's absolutely beautiful. There's no water slides. There's no other stuff. So get rid of that. So I just love it. Plus the fact that the ship literally docks right up against the island. There is no dock there. When you look at the dock, it doesn't extend from the ice right up against the island. So you dock right up against the island and you are no more than 10 minutes from the ship, no matter where you are.
Well,
Rebecca might be 20 minutes from the ship the way she walked. The way I walk, I'm no more than 10 minutes away from the ship. And if you use a scooter or a wheelchair, huge, wide concrete pathways. So it's really mobility friendly on that island too. The downside to it is that the shores are very rocky. So if you're going to go there and you're going to just go out to the shores, you want to bring water shoes because it is very rocky out there. But I even like that. It's just a very cool island. Celeste is saying that, yes, you can use the drink package on Princess Keys. There you go. So
that probably changed from when we were.
There you go. So that's
ages
good.
Ago.
That's good. But yeah, so I love Ocean Key, and I really love the overnight. We did that on the seaside, and it was so cool to wake up the next morning and there. Well, one, it was cool to watch the sunset over the island, and then the next morning get up. And they did the big beach party at like 9 o'clock at night, which was fabulous. We weren't out there sweating to death in the sun. We were out there in the dark. Oh, it's just beautiful, just beautiful. So Donna is going on the Icon this summer. You have not cruised since 2001. Well, first of all, it's a very small ship, okay? It looks big in the video, but when you get there, you're going to be like, that's it? No, I'm just kidding. It's huge. It is huge. And it is so much fun. It is so much fun to be on that ship. I will tell you, I think instead of getting on the ship and going to the Windjammer like everybody else does, I would go up to the Aquadome and go to the Aquadome Market. I love that food market up there. It is so good. Plus, you can get yourself a coffee and or an espresso martini from the Ryan Bean Bar, which is right there, and enjoy the overlook, just the absolutely stunning overlook up there. So, yeah, you are going to have so much fun on that ship. You just can't appreciate how big the ship is until you're actually there. And it is quite lovely. You see it from the outside, like, but man, it is beautiful from the inside. And if you have water slide fans, you've never seen a water slide park like that on a cruise ship. It is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that is going to be something. Mr. T, any additional info on future Carnival cruises? I'm not sure what you're looking for. There are a lot of cruises that Carnival has released up to 2027 now on some itineraries, and they just took, I think P&O just did their final sailings in Australia. So those ships are about to be renovated and converted over to Carnival. I saw some news report. It looked like the last ship was going out on her final sailing, or she was heading into dry dock, one or the other. But yeah, so Carnival does have sailings all the way out through 2027. I don't know if there's anything in particular you're looking for, but I don't have any specific information. I'll tell you the one thing about Carnival is they reward the VIPs more than just about any other cruise line. I mean,
at least as far as buying cruises.
like your cruises, yeah.
Haven't really
Nobody
looked so
offers
much at
that
the
many
package.
promos and stuff like that. I mean, when you have a VIP, which is a very important fun person, and you have that membership and you've been on a few cruises, I mean, the minute I put that number in, if I don't put the number in, I might have 3 or 4 rate codes to choose from. The moment I put that number, I might have 10 rate codes to choose from. You know, onboard credit, discounted price, da 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 da. There is nobody that offers that takes care of their guests like Carnival. I mean, they really give you guys so many offers and so many options. And for us, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to go like all through it. You mean the new 2027 ship? I don't even remember which ship that is. The new XL class ship coming out. I don't know anything about that particular one, but the 2 newest ones are actually older P&O ships that are just coming online down in Australia. So they're just taking control of those. But the new XLs, I don't have any word on that, nor do I have any word on the bigger ship. They have another ship that's coming. It's going to be even bigger. So Megan wants to know, somebody wants to join the show. Megan wants to know, where is our next cruise? It's going to be from Port Canaveral on the Norwegian Aqua, May 31st. And then shortly thereafter, we go up to Alaska on June 26th. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by. On the Royal Caribbean line, what's the difference between the beverage package and the classic soda package? Good question. The main thing is that
the beverage package actually is the alcoholic package. There's also a package called the refreshment package.
Correct. There's 3.
Yeah.
There's 3. So the classic beverage package is everything. That's alcohol, specialty coffees from the Royal Caribbean coffee shops, and then soda. Then you've got the refreshment package, which is no alcohol, but you can do soda and you get specialty coffees from the Royal Caribbean coffee shop. And the reason why I keep saying that is you can't go to Starbucks. There are Starbucks on some ships, so you can't go to Starbucks with that. And then the classic soda package, literally soda. That's it. No mocktails, no coffee, no anything. So there's 3 different packages
and
primarily.
Most of their ships, I think there might be 1 or 2 of the older ones that don't, but most of their ships have freestyle Coke machines.
Mm-hmm.
So you will get a variety of sodas and waters when it's in stock, iced teas, but
Yep.
and in different flavors. But if you're on an older ship, you'd want to check if they get. And they give you a cup with an RFID chip in it, so when you put that cup in, it knows that you can get some drinks.
When we're on a Royal Caribbean ship, if we're going to get a beverage package at all, it's the refreshment package, just because I drink a lot of coffee and then I just pay for my alcohol because I don't drink near enough alcohol to justify the prices that Royal Caribbean charges, because I may have 1 or 2 drinks a day, but I might have 4 coffees. So just right there, that takes care of the refreshment package. Then I can also get the sodas, which is my favorite thing. I don't drink soda at all, but I love the flavored waters from the freestyle machines. So for me, I'm going to do the refreshment package, because the classic soda package, while it gives me the freestyle machine, does not give me the coffees. So yeah, and that's a big distinction between Royal Caribbean and Norwegian. Norwegian does not include coffee with their packages. You have
Margaritaville is also one that does not include the special.
Boy, does Margaritaville have good coffee. Dang it. Wow.
Yeah, most of the cruise lines do include the specialty coffees in their package, but Norwegian and Margaritaville are 2 off the top of my head I can think of that don't.
Yep.
So when you're doing your math, you have to factor that in.
Yeah. And also always remember, if there's an actual Starbucks on the ship, that is not included unless you get the coffee package on Norwegian. Norwegian does include Starbucks if you buy the coffee package. And I think you got to buy that on the ship. I don't think you can buy that in advance.
You can buy it in advance.
Can you buy it in advance? Okay. Cal, we booked you on the Venezia in June. I know. I can't wait for you to be on that ship. What a beautiful ship. Dave, man, you're going on the Aqua June 7th. So we're going to be leaving the ship on June 7th. That'll be great. We'll be strangers passing in the night. That'll be awesome. That is awesome. So if in the main dining room, in order to get coffee, you have to pay for it or have a package. Now, if you're just talking about drip coffee, I just want a cup of coffee and they come and they pour you a cup of coffee, that's included. Drip coffee is included on as far as I know, all cruises, and that's usually available in the buffet. You just go over to the machine or you pour it. If they're just coming over and pouring you drip coffee, that's included. If you want a cappuccino, a latte, Americano, anything that's considered a specialty coffee, that you pay for. So if you don't have a package, then you're just simply going to pay whatever the charge is. If you do have a package, then it's included. But just drip coffee, you can go to the buffet anytime you want and get it. I believe Cafe Promenade on Royal Caribbean they do. They have they give you the cup and you go over and you just get it yourself. So yeah. So if it's drip coffee, that's included. Just tea, iced tea in the buffet is included. Water is included, and they usually have a selection of juices. All of that's included. But anything that's a soft drink product, like a Pepsi product, Coca-Cola product, those are going to be charged.
And some higher end teas are not included.
Yeah, and higher end teas. Yeah.
But just your basic kind of teas are included.
Yeah, and Donna's saying that they have the refreshment package. I think the refreshment package would work for at least 50% of the people who buy the alcohol package, like the full-on alcohol package. And you would save a ton of money by doing that. But
not all lines have that in-between package.
They don't.
Some lines, like Carnival, just has either a bubbles package, which is the soda, or alcohol. There's not that.
Yeah, they don't have that one with the coffee in between. So, and by the way, Carnival has some of the best coffee at sea. If you go on any ship that has the Havana bar, make sure you go get some Cuban coffee. Oh my God, so good. Megan's going on the Wonder of the Sea. Well, you're saying Wonder. Oh, so you've only sailed Navigator so far. So I assume you mean the Wonder of the Seas, not the Carnival Wonder.
Or the Disney Wonder.
Or the Disney Wonder, but she said Navigator. Yeah. So I'm going to assume you're talking Royal Caribbean. That's a problem. So many ships have the same name anymore. But that's awesome. That's awesome. $32 on Royal Caribbean, very expensive.
I will say the
refreshment package
has gotten a little expensive. I'm tracking it I'm tracking the bottom line price for Walter to see if it comes down enough to
everybody's like, how do you track stuff? I have a tracker. What's your tracking app? It's called Rebecca. Yeah. But I'm going on the Star of the Sea. If anybody's going on the Star of the Seas inaugural, which is the real inaugural, the full 7-night inaugural cruise, what was that, August 31st? Is that the date?
Yeah.
So August 31st, if you're going to be on that sailing of the Star of the Seas, I'm going to be there with my new roommate, Stephanie. That should be a hoot. I've never had her as a roommate, so that should be fun. She never had me as a roommate, so that should be a lot of fun. We're staying in Surfside. We've got a Surfside interior that has the window looking out at Surfside, so kind of excited about that. And I know she's all excited because she loved that lemon drop bar back there. Man, I really hope
we never got around to trying.
We were only there for 3 days.
That's
so
true.
I'll be there for longer this time. Plus, I never got around to trying the Surfside Bites, that cute little buffet that's all
Well, we did walk in there a few times.
I know, but they had so many fun things in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to try it.
The selections for me were somewhat limited, I will say. If you don't eat meat things.
Betts is going on your first cruise on the Symphony. Wow, you picked a really small ship for that one. Welcome to the cruise family. Wow, man, alive. Symphony of the Seas is a great ship. Actually has one of my favorite shows on there. It's got Hairspray up in the main theater. Oh, my goodness. I think it's one of the best Broadway shows. It's just one of the best shows at sea. The cast was phenomenal. The music was awesome. And just everything about that show. And they also did a matinee. That's the thing too. Like if you're on 7-night cruises, sometimes on a sea day, they'll do a matinee of some of the big shows. So keep an eye on that. All of you, like when you're on a ship, sometimes they'll do a matinee. In fact, they did that on Margaritaville. Yeah. They ended up doing Conky Tonkin.
And also on the Quantum Oasis, and I'm assuming Icon class, you can book your shows ahead of time. It doesn't cost any money, but you can make a reservation. Yeah.
So if you're going on the Symphony in August, July 1, your shows should open up for reservation. It is the first day of the month before your cruise. That's what it says on Royal Caribbean. So if your cruise is in August, the first day of July, you should be able to go in and reserve your entertainment. That would be on the Symphony. That would be for the water show, which I think is Hero. It would be for the show in the front, and it would be for the ice show down below. Now, Hero, one of the cool things, anybody who is going on an Oasis class ship, and especially those the Oasis class, go out to the theater during the day. I think it was almost cooler to watch the rehearsals than it was to watch the actual show, especially the aerialist who's walking the sky. They call him the Skywalker. That was so freaking cool to watch that person do it. And my goodness, I mean, the ab core strength that person has to pull off what they're doing. So if you're on an Oasis class ship, be sure to go back to the Aqua Theater during the day and see if they're doing a rehearsal. It's open. I mean, they can't block it. You can just sit there and you can watch the rehearsal. It is amazing to watch. So, yeah. MG, what's my thoughts on the new Norwegian Aqua? I'll let you know May 31st. We'll be on board. I am so excited. So at our, we just had a conference with KHM Travel Group, our host agency, and Norwegian brought out the Prince show right at the end of our big award show. So we got to see four songs, I think it was.
4 or 5.
I think we got like 4 or 5 songs from the new Prince Revolution show. Oh my God, I am so excited to see this show. And then there's also a Fleetwood Mac Rumors show that's going to be happening in the smaller theater. I am just so excited. Plus, they've got the new Aqua Slide coaster. I hated it when I saw that they put the racetrack on the first 2 ships. I'm very curious to see if those racetracks survive dry dock. When those ships go in for their first dry dock, I'm very curious to see if they come down, because the lines on the new one are so much cleaner. The water slide doesn't like create. I mean, it's just it did not create that kind of like that really nice luxury feel by the pool, having that racetrack up there, which I understand the racetrack is not used that much on those 2 ships. So I am really excited. I am really, really excited.
Yeah, and we're very much looking forward to see Tony's videos from the Aqua, because he'll be on next month. And our friends
Rocky and Mark
from This Cruise Life, they will also be on in April.
Here. In fact, we need to get a hold of them because obviously they're coming here.
Are they?
Are they doing it in Port Canaveral? Or are they doing that in New York? I gotta get in touch with them. But Rocky and Mark are going to be on the ship too. So Tony's going to be on it first. I mean, he's flying all the way over. Tony can't wait, man. He just can't wait. He's got to be first. Just like Philadelphia. Tony's got to be first. He's going. He's going over to Europe, and he's going to be on that Norwegian ship. I think Norwegian is a great partnership between him and Norwegian. He had brought us so much cool footage from the ship, and his tour of Venice was absolutely hilarious. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, Kel is saying that World America's show is a Dirty Dancing. Now, it says Dirty Dancing in concert. So it's not Dirty Dancing the show. It is going to be the music, the songs, and dancing, but I don't think it's going to be the storyline. Might be a little bit of it threaded in, but if you see in very small letters, it says Dirty Dancing in concert. So that, and who cares? I mean, the music is phenomenal. Everybody's going to be up dancing and doing all of that. So Barbara wants to know what kind of entertainment is on the Riviera. I assume you mean the Oceana Riviera. So they're going to be smaller shows. I haven't looked, but I know
I think on the Marina Riviera Vista Allura, I think they do have a small stage, more so than
the Serena. Yeah. Yeah. So they have an actual theater in those ships.
And they have a larger cast, but they probably will only do 1 show a night.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they're lounge shows. I will say, the shows on the Serena were good. In fact, I think the shows on the Serena and Azamara were actually better than the ones on Explorer, especially the one on Azamara. Boy, Azamara, they did a great job on there. But, you're going to have a cast of, I think, like about 8, maybe 10. So we'll have singers and dancers, and you have the band back there. And they're going to put on some preset shows and some original shows. So that's going to be the entertainment. Plus, we'll have guest speakers, and then you will have some guest entertainers. But it's not going to be the big production show because they just simply don't have the room in there. But it is a lovely theater. If you take a look at the pictures, it is a nice, we're on Azamara and then the smaller Oceana ships, it's a lounge. It's a beautiful little lounge. And it's so intimate. It's great. You're right there. And then on this ship, it will be more of a theater. So the entertainment, I honestly haven't even looked, because that's like the last thing on my mind on those ships. I'm just so excited to be on a small ship, and because the food is really why I'm going. Food, forget Alaska. I'm just going to stay on the ship and eat. I'll just look at Alaska from the ship and go, man, this hamburger is so good. No, I'm not. I'm going to be out and about doing all kinds of stuff. In fact, I'm going to be renting a lens For those of you who have, if you have a camera with interchangeable lenses, or you don't have a camera and you'd like to rent a camera for going to some place like Alaska or maybe over to the Mediterranean, there's a company called Lens Rentals, all one word, lensrentals.com. I happen to have a Fuji X-T3, so I'm gonna rent like a 400 millimeter lens with a 1.5 adapter on it just to take to Alaska with me. So it's like I don't know, it's like an $8,000 lens. I looked it up, and it's like I can rent it for $400 or $300 for 2 weeks to take with me. So I highly recommend something like that if you're going. So Alex says he's looking at booking another vacation soon. Who's offering the best solo deals nowadays? I mean, Explora has no solo supplement. Crystal has no solo, and of course you got Norwegian has solo rates, and Virgin Voyages has solo rate. Just depends on what you're looking for. This is the last month of wave season, so starting in April, the prices will slowly start to inch up a little bit until we get to the holidays. So you just need to reach out, because when you say, well, who's offering the best solo deals nowadays, also depends on where you want to go.
Yeah, because
some of them the deals are only on certain itineraries. Yeah. So we need to know where you want to go, and of course we don't know that offhand right here, but I do know that Explorer is still running the zero supplement. Crystal is running zero supplement. And Crystal has solo rooms, and then of course Norwegian and Virgin and Princess very often has low solo supplement, but they don't advertise it. We just have to go in and look, and it might be 125% or 150%, but it's not going to be 200%. Princess does that a lot, actually a lot, but it's never advertised. We just find it when we go in. So, Eric, you think Rocky Mark will be on the Aqua sailing before us? I thought they were going in April. I think they're going in April. Yeah. In fact, I thought they said they were going on a preview sailing. So,
yeah, they did.
Yeah. So I think they're going on a preview sailing. Our sailing is like a month and a half after the ship has started going. So yeah, thanks, Jen. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Oh gosh, I guess we're there. 90 minutes have gone by. Holy cow, that was fast. Well, thank you.
There are a couple of quick questions.
There are a couple of quick questions. Do the soda packages ever go lower than $11.99? Maybe. I doubt it. That is really low. That is really, really low. And I don't know if you're talking about Carnival.
I'm assuming Norwegian probably.
Or Norwegian.
No, Royal.
Yeah. I've never seen Royal that low, to be honest with you. So that's really, really low.
I haven't really tracked the soda package much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean.
The soda
I've never seen
packages
it.
prices changed less often than the other two.
And must you purchase internet on the Symphony, or do they have free basic? Royal Caribbean does not offer Wi-Fi free. The only thing you can do is use the app. Yeah. You can use on any cruise ship that has an app, you can use the app without buying the internet. If you want to do anything else with the internet, email, whatever, you must buy the Wi-Fi. Some of the cruise lines that include the Wi-Fi are Virgin Voyages. That is rolled into the cruise fare, so that's always included. Azamara, Oceana, I believe they now have the Wi-Fi in there. And then Princess, if you book the Princess Plus, well, then you got gratuities, Wi-Fi, beverages. You got a whole bunch of stuff rolled up, which is amazing. People ask about that Royal Caribbean drink package, right? Hey, it's $69 a good price for the drink package. On Princess, it's $60 a day, and you get gratuities, Wi-Fi, beverages, all drinks up to $15, including coffee and alcohol. You get two casual meals. You get 2 premium desserts every day. So that can be gelatos and things like that. You get fresh pressed juices all day. You get Ocean Now delivery fees are waived, room service delivery fees are waived, and they ship the medallion to your house. All of that is $60 a day. And people are like, hey, is $69 a good deal for just the beverages on Royal, or $89 for the beverages on Carnival? And it's like, you pay $60 a day and you get all of that on beautiful ships with beautiful pools. So yeah, it is amazing. I think they are the best deal. On Royal Caribbean room service, what is the charge? I don't know offhand.
I want to say it's somewhere between $6 and $8. Although I think they're one of the cruise lines where you can get some continental breakfast items without a charge.
Yeah.
But you'd have to.
So rare that we do. The last time we did room service actually was on Explorer, and that was amazing.
Yeah, we don't do it much.
No, but if you go on Explorer, holy crap, you got to do breakfast and dinner in the room, because every room is a balcony. and they set it all up out there. Oh my God, it's so fabulous, so fabulous. So, CM Johnson, hey, how are you guys? Looking at combining 3 Grand Princess cruises, 15-night New Zealand, 12-day Southern Australia, and a 9-day Queensland with Great Barrier Reef penthouse with the Premier package. My thoughts? I mean, yeah, that would be absolutely spectacular. Of course, that Premier package means that you basically have an all-inclusive cruise, other than the shore excursion. I mean, you've got $20 beverages, you've got the Wi-Fi, you've got unlimited dining. You can eat at all the restaurants. I don't think there's a restriction on that ship.
But we're talking Grand Princess?
Yeah, Grand Princess.
Yeah, there's
it might be
probably,
the Crab Shack, if anything.
Well, yeah, there's you got to look at what specialty restaurants.
Yeah, but he's on the ship for 15, 12, and 9 days. So yeah, I would totally do the Premier for that long. 100%, I would be there. So yeah. I mean, if you want to reach out, I know we've been talking about Asia in the past, but I mean, if you want to reach out, we can go ahead and put that all together for you. But yeah, that would be, if it was me, I would definitely be going Premier. Rebecca would probably argue, no, let's do the Plus. It's okay.
Well, because when they don't have that many restaurants I want to eat at, more than twice.
That's the thing. On the Grand Princess, you're going to have the Crown Grill, you're going to have Sabatini's, and there might be one other. So you may not get everything out of that Premier package. The Plus package may be the better way to go. And then if you want some extra dinners, you just go ahead and pay for them versus just paying for them, $90 a day. So yeah, so there is that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can run the numbers for you and compare and see. But yeah, if there's only 2 real specialty dining restaurants on there, you probably don't want the Premier.
Well, unless maybe some of the other perks are important for you.
So, okay, guys, we need to. Hey, Michael, how are you? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good to see you, cousin. All right, folks, we got to wrap this up because Rebecca says I need to enjoy the rest of my day.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to work. I'm going to check emails. I'm going to respond to emails, and then I don't know what we're doing. She has surprises in store for me. She did not make a cake for me. I absolutely did not see her baking a cake at all. So thank you, Donna. Isn't that great with the birds? I know. I keep waiting for a bird to fly into the screen back here, but yeah, it is beautiful out here. So, all right. So, all right, guys. Well, you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out. Where'sWalterTravel.com. Our services are absolutely free to you. I know we talk about cruises, but we do land tours, luxury expedition. We do everything, and we can absolutely help you out with any of your stuff. So, thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. I really, really appreciate it. Not sure on Thursday night yet, but we'll definitely see you next Sunday right back here at 10:30 in the morning for another Cruise Chat Live. Have a great day, everybody.